Welcome back, fellow readers. This is Suave, and today we are in the beginning of March, which means we get to show off our light novel and manga haul for the month of February 2021. We have a lot of cool things to go through, so without further ado, let's begin. As always, we're going to kick things off with titles that I've already covered on this channel, and we're going to start things off with Berserk of Gluttony by Seven Seas. This is one of the first light novels that I've ever reviewed. It was a long time ago, at least it felt like it was a long time ago. Maybe it was only like over a month ago. But it was one of the first titles that I actually rated as a must read. I had so much fun with it, so I knew I had to double dip and get the physical copy. I don't think I'm going to reread the first volume, but I wanted the physical copy nonetheless, so I can put it on my shelf and wait for the physical releases of the following volumes and then just have them all in physical format. Next up, we have Trapped in a Dating Sim, The World of Otome Games is Tough for Mobs. This is a title that I had so much fun with when it came out digitally. And I just wanted to read something that might have been different. Maybe it wasn't really up my alley, and I didn't really know anything about the title, but I just knew that maybe it was something different that I didn't think I would like. And so I gave it a shot, and I ended up falling in love with this book so much, and I heard so many good things about it too from other people. And this is one of those titles where it's not supposed to be a traditional dating sim novel, and it's not a traditional otome game novel. This takes all the qualities of dating sim and otome games and basically flips it on its head and just has a whole lot of fun with it. And so if you want to see what this book is all about, I have a review about that as well. But this is one that I would highly recommend if you've been sort of wanting to go into a title that's about dating sims and otome games, and maybe you're a straight guy and you've never read about those things before. And this is one of those things where you're gonna have a whole lot of fun, I promise you. And of course, we have the title from one of my latest videos, that is Solo Leveling, the novel series. This is the English translation published by Yenon, and I had so much fun with this. I actually never read the webtoon for Solo Leveling, but now I really do want to read it after reading this, and so it's just a whole lot of fun. If you're not familiar with Solo Leveling at this point, do yourself a favor and get this book and just read it through it. It's so much fun. If you're a fan of RPG elements and action, this is definitely the book for you. Alright, now we're going to move on to the good stuff. So first we have Side Character by Tentai Books. This is a book that was just released recently at Right Stuff, and you can purchase this physically directly through Tentai Books, but I wanted to just get it through Right Stuff anyways because I saw it was available, so I added it to my cart, and lucky enough I had it pre-ordered because it had actually sold out before the release date, and so it's no longer available at Right Stuff. From my understanding, Tentai Books is going to send more books out to Right Stuff, but I was so glad to finally get this in. I heard a lot of good things about it, so I can't wait to dive into this title. And I love how the physical book actually has a little dust jacket flap for the little softcover book. Kind of reminds me of the traditional Japanese light novels that are printed over in Japan. So definitely looking forward to this title. Now these next two titles are of no surprise. These are the Haruhi Suzumiya light novel books, and these are the next two books that came out for the month of February. So the first two books that came out in January, I actually did a spotlight video for those if you want to see what those books look like, because these are reprints of the out of print hardcovers. Now they're being reprinted as softcover books. So these are being published in English by Yenon. So I'm glad to have these two books in English. And these are the books that I really recommend that you pre-order as soon as you can, because every time I look at Right Stuff, as soon as they're out, they are out of stock, and they keep getting more and more, but people are buying these really fast. So if you don't want to miss out on this wave, I highly recommend you pre-order these books. I already got the ones for March pre-ordered in my cart, so we'll look forward to those next month. Now if you know me, these books are of no surprise. These are the Goblin Slayer volumes 8 through 10, and so these are mostly me wanting to just complete out the collection. I still have to read through and catch up on the books for volume 11. And these are just titles that I wanted to add into the cart to even it out so I can get free shipping. And I know that I'm going to be reading these Goblin Slayer titles. I have a whole lot of fun reading them, and it just takes me like a day or two to read through them because I have so much fun reading them through them. So I can't wait to be all caught up, and maybe I'll do like a catch-up series, like maybe rounding out volumes 1 through 5 just to give a little summary of what happened through there, and maybe rounding out 6 through 10. And then I'll start doing individual volume reviews for 11 and onward. We'll see what happens through that. Now these next couple books are going to be the last ones before we move on to the manga, and that is The Hidden Dungeon Only I Can Enter, volumes 1 and 2. And so this is actually fairly new in terms of being licensed into English, because I think volume 3 is still not out. I think it's coming out in March. and so I really want to catch up on this series. I heard a lot of some mixed things about it. You know, I wanted to see what it was for myself, but I know this blonde girl in particular has a lot of attention online, especially on Twitter with the anime being out. So I just want to really see what this series is all about for myself, and you know, maybe give my thoughts on online as well. So we'll see what happens with this series when I'm all caught up. Now, if you've been following this channel, this first manga title is going to be no surprise to you. It is the newly released Eden's Zero Volume 10. So by the time this video comes out, I think my Volume 4 manga discussion will have already been published. And I'm just having a whole lot of fun with this series. I'm a huge Mashima fan. I cannot wait to catch up with everybody else and start reading the chapters weekly as they come out. And I'm really excited for the anime to be coming out in April, so I want to see what all this is all about and how it's going to be coming out in the anime. So I'm very much looking forward to catching up to Eden's Zero. Now, this next title was actually a recommendation by a fellow YouTuber by the name of Hobbies of a Man. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. He does a lot of good light novel and manga stuff over there, and that is Infinite Dendrogram. But I actually got the manga instead of the light novel, mainly because when it comes to these titles like Infinite Dendrogram and the other one that I'm going to be showing you next, there are already like maybe already a dozen titles, if not more, that are published in English, and it's hard for me to get time to catch up to all those titles. And so I wanted to just go off with the manga, because the manga is actually fairly new, published by J Novel Club, and they are doing this omnibus edition where they're publishing 2 volumes of manga into one book. And so I thought this was just a great way to just jump into the series and, you know, just follow along the manga and see what it's all about. So I might actually do a product showcase or manga discussion, sort of a combination of the two, just to show off what these omnibus edition manga look like from J Novel Club. So look forward to that very soon. And like I said before, I got another title within the same format, and that is How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Volume 1, or at least Omnibus Volume 1, the manga by J Novel Club. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I heard a lot of good things about it, and you know, it's just like the other one. There's a lot of novels out there that are published in English, or at least a lot of volumes of this novel. And you know, it's just hard for me as a reviewer to take the time to enjoy those titles where I'm trying to also review all the hot stuff that's coming out. So I thought maybe getting this manga was a good jumping start to see what the story is all about and what the hype is all about with this title. This next one is a series that I've been having a lot of fun with, and I really want to just catch up and finish on my collection, and that is Pokemon Adventures Collector's Edition. Now, it's not complete because there are still plenty more books out, and I think number 7 is going to be coming out very soon, or if not, I can't remember if it's already out or not. I have to double check on that. But this is volume 5, and I got volume 6 over here as well. So I've been enjoying the first 2 volumes. I'm still debating as to whether or not I want to do a video on these collector's editions. Maybe I'll do like a quick showcase like I did with Tokyo Ghoul. So maybe look forward to that one very soon. Now, this next title is a series that I had no idea that it even existed, but you know, someone told me about it, and it's one of those guilty pleasures of mine to just read like trashy smut. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to show you guys anyways. It is How to Build a Dungeon Book of the Demon King. And you know, I have volume 1 here. I got I think up to 4 volumes because it was on sale on Right Stuff a few weeks ago. So you can see the first one I already opened, but these other ones are plastic wrapped. So you know, there's a lot of adult content, let's say, in here. But you know, it's a very fun series. It's about a guy who just wants to get revenge from the whole world that treated him wrongly. Almost like another series that I'm not going to mention, but in this case he built a dungeon, and you know, he summons up a succubus. Of course it's a succubus, and you know, they start planning out this dungeon, and they start recruiting monsters, recruiting other women, and you know, there's just a whole lot of smuttiness in this series. So I can't wait to catch up with this one, and I think there's actually 6 or 7, and I think there's actually a new one that's going to be coming out very soon. So this is actually still kind of ongoing, and I actually think this is based off a light novel series too. So, but the light novel was never translated in English. That's still in Japan. But I'm having fun with the manga, so we'll see what that's like in the future. And last but definitely not least, this is a title that I watched when I was maybe a teenager in high school, and I really loved it and I fell in love with it. But I never actually read the original manga, and so I'm glad that they are putting out a huge deluxe edition of this series, and that is Hellsing Volume 1, the deluxe edition. This thing is a monster, and they have a cool little insert here in the back. Let me grab one of these little manga books or little light novel books. This thing is huge compared to all these other books that I've gotten, and I'm so glad that they're printed in these deluxe editions. I think Volume 2 is already out, and volume 3 is supposed to be the last one, and I think that's coming out either in April or May or something like that. I have to double check when it comes out, but definitely I want to do a showcase and showcase these books off when all 3 of them are out. And I kind of want to also get the Berserk ones. I've been holding off on getting the Berserk ones only because I know it's a longer one, so it's going to be more investment in that. But it's also just personal preference. Personally, I loved Hellsing. I grew up with it. Berserk, I kind of saw later in my late teens, so it's a really good series. I just wasn't attached to it as much as Hellsing, so I definitely want to dive into Hellsing first. And if I love these editions, which I think I am, then I'll probably get into the Berserk ones. And that's gonna wrap up our haul video for the month of February 2021. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you got for the month of February, and let me know what you think about any of these titles if you have any other recommendations. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. It helps me out a whole ton when you hit that large red button. With that being said, I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.